Welcome back to Where Lions Walk, episode 29. Danny says, why are we dropping Bangura Williams and he's not on his own? 20 minutes of Millwall chat. Thank you very much for joining us. On the episode this week, we're talking about why Bangura Williams isn't getting more minutes. Is Luke Cundle a 10? Many people are saying no, he's not. And what should happen there? Plus, we've got Callum and Charlie here to talk about that West Brom draw. What on earth happened at Plymouth? We'll talk about it briefly, I promise. Who deserves to get promoted? And what is the worst ever Millwall kit? We'll get some shockers up on the screen towards the end. But let's start, as we always do, by saying hello to Callum and Charlie. How are we, fellas? All good?
All good.
Yeah. Did you go to Plymouth, dare I ask?
Absolutely not.
Good, good. There'll be people watching this that did. So if you trekked all the way there for that and then saw that performance, well, you are...
Yeah, fair play to you all.
You are a true fan. Hats off to you. Very briefly, Charlie, what on earth happened?
I think it was really a bad start, and I think that just set the tone for the night. I mean, conceding our own goal about 5 minutes in, like heads just dropped, and it seemed like we never got back up from that. The penalty was then 5 minutes later. You could argue a bit of a soft pen, but I think the Norse just sort of, it's a bit of stupidity there, just raising your foot. You know there's always a chance you're going to like nick someone. So it was, I think it was just a comedy of errors, really, in that first 10 minutes. It just set the tone for the night, and we never recovered from it. Plymouth weren't going to roll over, so...
Yeah. So what rolled on to Saturday then, Callum, is we needed a performance. That's what people were saying. It wasn't really matter about the result. We needed to see something better than Wednesday. And we saw it, didn't we? That you were the better side and should have won?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wednesday was a shambles. Let's just put it that. It was just a shocking performance. I agree with what Charlie just said. And then, Saturday, I thought we were the better team. We should have scored in the second half. I thought we gifted them that goal. Obviously, another Joe Bryan own goal in the space of 2 games, which is brilliant. And it's almost like I feel really sorry for Joe Bryan, really. But yeah, he's been getting a bit of stick from the Millwall fans recently, which was, I don't know, I feel like at times this season he has, had some stinkers of games. But I think overall, since Alex Neil's come in, I do actually think that he's been unfortunate with the mistakes that he's made. But overall, I think his performance on Saturday was really good. I think we've had a few chances in that game to, I think, a top 6 side in West Brom who have got like great depth in their squad. I think we dominated the game, possession. We had quite a few shots on target as well. So we could have scored about 3 or 4. So yeah, it was really positive performance from Wednesday. So yeah, I mean, we should have won the game. And that was it really.
All right. Cheers for that, both of you. Let's focus on the main topic then. And there's a puzzling one for you both to kind of unpick. Lucas says, I can't help but feel a bit sorry for RBW. He came in, he set the team alight, and now he can't get a look into the starting 11. Strange. But come on, you Lions. And there's lots of tweets saying this one, Charlie, similar. Just, it's a head scratcher, even for a neutral. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit surprising. Like, we knew there was going to be a change at some point. So with the new signings that we made, we now have depth, which we haven't had for a long time across that front 4 sort of area. And I think it was very much Alex Neil wants to get to know his new players that he's brought in. So he's starting them in. I think Bangura Williams is sort of, I think it was George said about it this week. He said that he's sort of a victim of his own success in the terms that he came in so fast, did much better than people thought he was going to do. And now like he's put himself into contention to be in that starter when we didn't really need him to. When we had that backup plan of Luke Cundle coming in, of course. And I think that sort of stunted him in a way. But also, I think it's looking at Luke Cundle. I think he's sort of more what Alex Neil wants to control a game. I think Alex Neil likes having the possession and keeping the ball as part of his gameplay. So I think that's why he likes having Cundle in the 10. And then also, if you look at the wings, you've got Aziz has come back on fire. Connolly's, he's impressed. I think maybe there's more of an argument you could start Bangura Williams over Connolly. But it's, I think it's just a matter of time. We've got to wait a bit. It's only been 2 games he hasn't started. So hopefully he can come back into the squad and prove himself again. But yeah, I think it's a good problem to have. But at the same time, we do want to see our youth players getting that chance and trying to develop them.
Okay. B says, Aziz, man of the match for me. Absolutely everywhere, improving every game, has potential to keep getting better. What do RBW and Imaku, who's coming back from injuries near them, but need to do to get consistent game time? Arguably, they are our most exciting attackers in this squad. Solid performance, unlucky not to win. Callum, what do they have to do to get more consistent game time, those two?
I think Bangura Williams has been unlucky. I think as Charlie just said there, Cundle's come in straight away, been really good in my opinion. Aziz has come back on fire. And Connolly's been amazing since he's come in as well to the squad. So I think he's been unlucky. Remember, he's still only 19, 20. So he's got a lot of development still to be done in his career. So I don't mind the fact that he can come off the bench and make a change to the squad. But Matt could just come back. So I would have probably put him on the weekend for like 10 minutes. I think he should have done really, because you needed that pace in behind on Saturday. Sorry, but I think just let them get back into the squad, get them training, and then if we get options off the bench, I think that's what we need really. At the end of the day, I think just give them time. And for example, if we have a cup game coming up against Palace, I wouldn't mind seeing him start then. But for the league, I think just keep the same team because we're playing so well at the moment.
Okay. All right. Luke Cundle was our second topic of debate, and he's come up for some questioning. Where it says Luke Cundle is a centre midfielder. He's not a number 10. He's reminiscent of another 5'6" Honeyman chasing down lost causes up front. Bangura Williams should also be starting. Also, Mitchell just isn't good enough, unfortunately. Joe Bryan revenge on the hating Millwall fans. Let's talk about Luke Cundle for a second then, shall we, Charlie? Is this tweet right? Is he not a 10?
I'm not sure if I'd say he's not a 10. I think he's not a sort of 10, like an exciting 10 who goes and scores loads of goals and is in amongst like the flair. He's not really a flair player. I think he's more of a sort of receive the ball. He plays nice intricate passes and links the attack and the midfield. I think that's more his expertise, as opposed to someone like Bangura Williams who can pick up the ball, run past 3 people and like put a ball in a box. So I think he's a different type of 10. I think Alex Neil likes having him as to like control the game. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see him move back into midfield a little bit. I think he's better than Billy Mitchell. Better than George Savile as well. So it would be interesting to see him in 8. It's whether he can cope with sort of having Denor with him, whether you can find that stability there. But yeah, I would like to see that experimented. But I wouldn't say he's not a 10. I think that's a bit extreme.
Okay. Callum, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's doing well at the 10. I think he's more of an 8. I think he's more of a box-to-box. But obviously he gives more than Honeyman in the 10. But I think with the treat we just saw there, I think he's being quite harsh on Billy Mitchell. I thought Billy Mitchell played well on Saturday. And if it weren't for him on Saturday, we would have probably conceded another goal, because during the game, Dean Garner nearly had a chance to score and he headed it onto the crossbar. If you watch the game back, so we could have, for his defensive, capabilities and getting back and score it, like obviously not conceding a goal. I think he's done really well in that game. I like to call Billy Mitchell sideways and backwards. Billy Mitchell, because Billy Mitchell just passed the ball sideways and backwards. He don't really do the interplay through the 10, passing it through to the strikers. He's not that sort of player. I think Cundle's more a sort of playing it through the midfield and etc. to the strikers. So I think Cundle is good in the 10, but like Charlie just said, I think Bangura Williams, if you want someone with a bit of flair and someone who can run at people, Bangura Williams is your man. But I do like Cundle in the 10.
Okay. Right, let's move on then. Derby County then this weekend away at Derby. Meeting John Eustace will be had a full week on the training field, but also you got a midweek game, of course, as well at Preston, which we're recording this before that. We don't know how that particular one has gone. How do you see yourself getting on at Derby, Charlie? They'll be up for it, given it's John Eustace's first home game.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the thing of a new manager bounce, and we have to obviously be prepared for that Saturday. It's a game that really we looked at our away fixtures coming up a few weeks ago, and I think Derby was one of the ones where it was one of the ones we want to win because there's not many more that we can be too confident about. But yeah, obviously the new manager bounce is going to add a bit to it. But then again, they did get spanked by QPR last week, so hopefully we see that Derby. I think it was also a very weird time for Derby with it's a very weird situation with John Eustace, how he's gone there. So maybe that could play a part into it. But yeah, I think we can definitely beat them. It's just our away form's picked up at the moment. We are, I have to say, probably doing better away from home. We're probably better away than we are at home. It would be nice to see us get a result. I think Preston on the week is sort of like we always get a result there. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Okay. That one has got 0-0 written all over it. I'm telling you now, my mortgage is going on Preston 0, Millwall 0. Sorry. Right, let's look at some bad kits then, shall we, before we finish? If you're wondering why, last week we did the worst ever Millwall 11, and that was concluded with the worst ever Millwall manager. So thank you very much for all your comments on that video as well. Go back and watch it and see what these two said. We've got to tell you what, Mill have had some stinking shirts. Do you guys own any, or have you got any examples that you want to share before we get into what was sent on social media?
I've got one. It's a bit, but like see, this kit is a bit boring for me. I've got one. I've had this for a while now. I don't know if you can see this one. This one here. Can you see that one? Right. Yeah, so this one's a bit boring because it's just all blue, dark blue. It's kind of a bit boring in my eyes. I found a few as well. Now this one, I've got it on my phone, so if you can't see it, I do apologise.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Yeah, green and yellow. Yeah, that's not Millwall,
so that was back from like 2008, 2007. That one's a bit like Norwich's home kit. As well. So yeah, I've got that one. They're my two.
All right, let's have a look at some then. Let's Charlie, you've got any?
No, I was looking for my orange one I got last year.
Yeah, that's another one that I've got.
Okay. Yeah, that was... right. So Millwall in yellow. Then I mean, this does not scream Millwall to me at all. Does yellow kits just don't work? Do they? Would you like this?
No, I don't. I don't like a yellow kit. No, I prefer our away kits being sort of like a white, really.
Whites, yeah. Millwall in whites, yeah. Okay. Like this one as well. I mean, it's like a Toblerone wrapper, isn't it, this one?
So I'll give you a bit of context, Mark. So this one, obviously, that year was sponsored by Husky Chocolate, and they done a special kit when they first obviously was sponsoring the club, and they decided to create this kit. It's probably one of the worst kits we've ever had.
Yep,
absolutely awful.
Why on our gallery? Millwall with stripes. Somebody messaged saying anytime Millwall go with stripes, this is like a Sheffield Wednesday kit, isn't it? Millwall don't do stripes, Charlie.
I think we've had some nice stripe kits, but there's one that would come to mind is actually the remake of that kit was not quite. I think that came out a few years ago. It's like the darker navy. It doesn't look as flattering. Okay. I quite like that one just from the Captain Morgan.
I don't mind that one either.
This has got to be the worst away kit, I think. And I'm not sure what this year from some of the comments can tell us, but grey and orange. I mean, come on, there can't be a worse combination than that. But I think this one was the one we got sent the most. This is
shocker.
Yeah, bad kit.
That's revolting.
Looking like bumblebees on the pitch.
Yeah. No, Hummel do some nice kits, don't they? But I don't think they got this one. Quite.
I mean, red and black on a yellow kit. I mean, whose idea was that?
That is
Yes,
Watford,
Watford,
isn't
isn't
it?
Goodness me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Have we forgotten any? Please let us know in the comments below. Also, we're getting closer to 300 subscribers on this particular channel, which is amazing. Especially, Callum's been here from the start. Charlie's been doing great work. But can you help us get there? Okay, there's so many great Millwall podcasts out there. We listen to them ourselves as well. So please, if you can help us, just press that subscribe button.
Yeah,
and
3
also
away from 250, by the way. I should
share.
say.
Oh yeah, we'll get to 250.
Yeah.
Get your family to subscribe. Right. See you on the other side of the Derby County game. Good luck against Derby and against Preston. 2 tricky away ties this week. We'll see you in 7 days' time. And then we're talking soon about Crystal Palace. Bring it on.